YouTube. I didn't know, but I thought, what the hell? Throw a video up. Little Blazer or Jimmy, my little $250 gem. Got the transmission rebuilt. Got it back in. Haven't drove it yet. I'm gonna do upper and lower ball joints on it because they're creaking. I don't think they've ever been greased. And I'm gonna put 4 new tires on it. Of course, gonna do oil change, and I've already put plug wires, cap and rotor on it. Air filter. I got the engine oil cooler lines and the lines that go to the remote oil filter, new ones to put on it because they're both seeping. They're weather checked and they're leaking like right around here where it's crimped, and the damn oil filter relocators on these were known for leaking anyway. And I spent today making a new cover out of a piece of diamond plate. I just keep recycling that old toolbox that went in the bed of a pickup truck. But I made another cover out of diamond plate because the plastic cover that goes under the front end of this thing had leaked so much oil, it just distorted it all up like a potato chip. But I've got the ball joints to do yet and do the lines, and I'm gonna put I got all 4 doors, but the bushings and pins are worn on this driver's door. These doors were a lot heavier than the old Gen 1 or square body S10 doors were. This is the only one that's actually loose. The other 3 are tight, so I ain't gonna mess with them. I went to pick and pull last week. I got another gray leather seat out of one. It's powered, same seat, it's not torn. And I grabbed that boot off the shifter out of the same truck for the automatic shifter because the bottom plastic retaining ring is broke where it clips into the console. So, other than that, everything's just about done on it. I noticed that my light just cut out, but that's okay. I mean, $250, you know, if I put the transmission, the rebuild kit was $360 some for a complete rebuild kit, and I got it from Monster Transmission. So it has the updated seals, so you don't have the issue with the seal wearing out and fluid getting past it and burning 3-4 clutch pack up like it did. Heavier clutches, heavier bands. It come with a brand new, the reverse neutral park indicator piece that goes on the side of the transmission by the gear selector even, so, which was a plus because it's like $45 by itself. But, and then, of course I said the tires I'm going to do. I've got a brand new radiator that I bought when we were going to small block the truck S10 for my son. Stock 350 4.3 radiator will cool it fine. So I bought a new radiator, and actually it's for one of these, you know, 94 and up. And I may just go ahead and throw it in there while I'm in there. You know, just pop the shroud apart and throw it in too for it's my daughter. So, you know, I want it perfect. You know, she's 19. Oh, and I got a driver's power mirror off that same truck because that one, as you can see, somebody's put, look at that. It broke, flopped around. So let's stick sheet metal screws into the damn, I don't know if you can see that, but that's a freaking wood screw. 2 of them somebody shoved in there. Okay, if you can't fix something right, don't fuck it up like that. Because now when I take the mirror off, I'm going to stick a pop rivet in that hole to plug it, and another one in that hole, I'm sure, it's screwed up too, to fill the hole, and then put the damn mirror back on like it should. But I took it off the same truck. And then this truck's been wrecked. And if any of you know what to do, all I was going to do was put a 2x4 in the door and try to bend this. When you go down the road, you can hear air leaking. And if you reach up here and squeeze this, it'll quit. So rather than do like some people do, which I think is just ghetto, and put more rubber up there and try to do it, I was going to try to see if I could torque this over a little bit. You know, we'll see what the pins do first and the bushings. But as you can see, looking down there, I can hit my fingers against that. Like up here, it's out about 1/8 of an inch. And it tapers down to about right here at the emblem, the bottom of where the window's at. It pretty much starts to come back where it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna try to, because it needs to go in about 1/4 of an inch. And I thought about maybe trying to pull some of it in with the striker, but then it'll be off down here. Adjust the striker maybe a little bit. Maybe between that and the pins and bushings I can manipulate it enough to seal up. So water don't come in, but just the wind noise is annoying. So, but all the rest of the doors are tight. So that, and I'm gonna fiddle with the hood. It don't fit right on the driver's side. It's up a little bit. So, but we cleaned the garage up today. Bless my wife's heart, she came out and helped me. And this floor back here is blacktop, which is kind of fucked up. And so, you know, it is what it is. This part's concrete. And then the front part up here, this is all concrete. This part up here, which this is just going to get cleaned up and used to park the mower and shit in. Up here's where I painted that little S10 at. I put plastic up on the walls. I didn't do anything with the ceiling, but I blew all this out with a leaf blower before it started. So it come out all right. It didn't have no trash in it or dust or dirt, so it was good. But that's all I've been doing. Like I said, do this. Let's go out here and see if this light will come on. Had to go have a talk with a guy across the street. He cut down a big elm tree for the neighbor lady. It's too dark out here, so that ain't gonna do no good. But I got the El Camino pulled out, and I'm gonna I already pressure washed the engine bay. I'm gonna get in there and do a little cleaning and black it all out and paint the frame and everything. And we're just gonna take the engine to the machine shop. I'm just gonna set on it. I'm just gonna buy a blueprint engine from Summit to put in the wife's car. I'm doing it because I want that block in the heads for something else. I don't know if I ever showed anybody on a video or not, but these are a GM replacement head. They're large square port heads, and the ports are massive in these things. They're 115cc chambers, but I've got 820 casting heads on my big block, and they dwarf these ports. And they're large oval ports. These things are monstrous. I had to get different gaskets just for them, but I'm gonna keep them and use them. I'm gonna make me a little blower motor out of that motor. I got a little 78 Malibu 2-door that I'd like to put a little big block blower motor in it, make a little street rod out of it. So anyhow, but that's all that's been going on. But back to the tree thing. Great big ass elm tree. I mean, this thing's probably 70, 80 foot tall. And he stood out there all evening messing around while we were out front, me and my son. And he could have walked over and said, hey, I'm going to drop this limb. It might go in your yard. I'll clean up the mess. No, he waits till we leave to go pick a friend of my son up at work because his parents are, one of them's in the hospital and the kid needed a ride home. And so we went and picked him up, took him home, and I come home and this tree's laying like within 4 foot of my front porch, like 6 foot from my green truck that's up under the porch, turned sideways on dollies. And I had a sneaking suspicion he was going to do it, so that's why I moved everything out of the driveway. Well, sure enough, he did it. And it kind of pissed me off because not her or him one had enough respect just to come over and say, hey, I'm going to drop this limb. If it goes in the yard, I'll clean up the mess. No, he drops the limb, took out my wife's bird bath, took out her bird feeder, and took out our mailbox. Not to mention, completely destroyed our blue spruce tree in the front yard that we decorate for Christmas every year. It just, it's about a 12 foot tall tree. We keep it pruned and nice. And he dropped it like between it, and we got an oak tree out there that's like 100 foot tall, and I bet it's every bit of 100 foot from one side of it to the other where it's spread out. It's a huge ass tree. He dropped it on the side of it and come down and smashed that spruce tree, and it's gonna have to be cut down now. So I told him he can replace the tree. So no big deal. I'll deal with it. So he's out there cleaning it up right now in the dark, because I told him I wanted it all cleaned up tonight. My wife gets off work, comes home in the morning and sleeps. I'm working all night at the hospital in the ER. She's an RN, and I'm going to be damned if he's going to be able to run us all fucking shit up at 8 o'clock in the morning after she's just got out of the shower and laid down to go to sleep. So, anyhow, that's enough of the gripe session. But, yeah, wife cleaned everything up, started putting tools away. So, normally I pay a kid to come over and do it. Gives him extra money. He's 14. So I usually give him $100, and he spends 8 hours over here cleaning it up. So that's all, guys. And don't get mad if I get this wrong, but TLC Bear, I hope your wife gets through this. I hate to see anything with anybody when it comes to what you were talking about in your video. That's enough to scare anybody to death. Brother, you're in our prayers, and our thoughts are with you, and may some good luck fall upon you. Later on, everybody.